39-year-old ex-Forces wife Irene Monk from Somerset.
My husband repeatedly tells me that I look lovely. I don't believe him.
They experience tearful goodbyes as they leave their families for 6 weeks and travel to London for the makeover of their lives. They meet the best of the Extreme team and are put through their paces. And after all that attention, hard work and surgery, we take them home.
The most important thing to me, I think, would be my eyes. I think I look very tired. My lower eyelids are very baggy as well, with deep marks, and they look dark and shadowy.
Irene's first appointment is with her surgeon, Mr. John Davison. John is one of the UK's leading aesthetic plastic surgeons and specialises in reconstructive breast surgery.
So, Irene, what is it that you'd like us to do for you?
The main problem I have is with my eyes. They're saggy and baggy. I've got a little knobble on the end of my nose, which I've been told is akin to a ski slope. I suffer with rosacea. It's quite red and shiny.
OK, we can have a look at that and see what we can do.
My breasts, they have lost a lot of volume over the years.
I'll examine you and have a look. I mean, there's all sorts of options available. Is there anything else?
Yes, my tummy.
We'll have a look.
Sounds magical.
OK. Right, Irene, let's have a look at your tummy, see what we need to do there. Your skin's nice. You don't have a lot of stretch marks. You don't have very thin, crinkly skin. That is the kind of area that would respond quite nicely to liposuction. I think that would be fine. You've lost some of the fullness in the upper part of your breast as your breast has drooped down. And you've got quite a lot of your own breast volume left. So really, I think if we put a moderate size implant in underneath, that should lift it up for you. OK?
Thank you.
Good.
To help Irene turn back the clock, she'll be having a brow lift, her upper and lower eyelids reduced, dental work to brighten her smile, her nose reshaped, her breasts enlarged, and liposuction to her hips and thighs. It's the morning of Irene's surgery and she's feeling a little apprehensive.
I'm just waiting to go down to surgery. I'm feeling really anxious at the moment. I should be in surgery for approximately 6 hours, but I'm sure it's going to be okay, and I'm looking forward to getting it over and done with.
Irene is taken to surgery while John Davison prepares.
I'm going to be starting off with her breast augmentation procedure. I'll then do the liposuction, which is 10 different sites on her lower body. I'll then do the endoscopic brow lift. I'm then going to do her upper lids and her lower lids. I'll then go on and do some of the procedures on the tip of her nose, which will hopefully sort out the features that she's not too keen on. There's a lot to do. We'll get cracking now. I'll see you later.
The first procedure Irene undergoes is the breast augmentation.
We're not going for a huge difference in her breasts, not a particularly startling change. She just wants to be lifted a little and just be a little bit bigger than she is. I've put her implants into the position under the breast itself rather than under the muscle, which I think will give her a nice natural result.
Next, John begins the liposuction.
There's quite a lot of liposuction. So far I've done that little tummy area that Irene didn't like very much. I think that's going to be nice. And then the next bit I've done are those two little fatty bits around the inside of her knees. We're up to about 1,400 mils now, and I think probably in the end I'll be at about 2 litres. I'm working on the inner thighs now, the outer thighs, and then that'll be the liposuction finished.
John can then move on to the changes to Irene's face.
During this part of the brow lift, you can see there's muscles underneath the subcutaneous tissue. These are the muscles that contribute to frown lines and heaviness of the brow. The layers of her forehead I've lifted off the actual skull itself, right down to the edge of her brow line. I'll then be pulling it all back and suspending it onto the skull to hold it in that new position, which will leave her brow in a better, more youthful state. Starting off with the lower lids now. Irene's fairly bulgy down there as well as having skin excess, so we've lifted the skin off and now I'm just dissecting out some of the fatty tissue that's under her lower lid.
The final procedure is Irene's nose, after which the surgery is complete.
It's taken us about 5.5 hours. It's all gone very well. I certainly hope Irene's happy with it all.
We finished off with the nose, those little features that she talked about before. Then did the upper and lower eyelids and did the endoscopic brow lift. All of that went very well. There's no difficulties at all.
It's the day after surgery and Irene's already making progress.
I think I can see the main difference on my eyes already underneath. I know it's swollen, but it's still quite flat. I can see that my forehead is lovely and flat, and my brow has been lifted. I've had the round bit taken away from the bottom of my nose. I'm healing really well, even though it's only 2 days. The differences, even this short time, are absolutely amazing.
Still to come, Carla has her surgery and Irene gets closer to her amazing reveal.
Here we are with Daniel Galvin. So Daniel, what have you got in mind for us today?
We're going to play with the colour. We're going to do some magic to the lens.
To help Irene turn back the clock, she had a brow lift, her upper and lower eyelids reduced, dental work to brighten her smile, her nose reshaped, her breasts enlarged, and liposuction to her hips and thighs to give her a more slimline figure.
When I walked into the room tonight, I was very nervous. Coming down the stairs, it was like an eternity, really. I could hear the gasps and the oohs and the ahs, but for some reason I automatically focused on one person, and that was my husband. It's as if I fell in love all over again with him.
The first thing I noticed about Irene was her eyes. When I first met her and saw her, that's what drew me to her. Tonight was exactly the same. It was like going back 20, 22 years and looking at those same eyes and seeing the smile that goes with it. And I'm drawn again to it again.
The whole experience was absolutely amazing. The reactions from my family and friends was actually quite remarkable. They commented on the figure, the weight that I've lost. They loved the hair. People commented on my eyes. And that was really important to me because of all this surgery that I've had done, the most important and the most worrying thing that concerned me were my eyes.
When my mum came down the stairs,
when I came on Extreme Makeover, I felt as if I was opening a new chapter in my book of life. That chapter's over. Extreme Makeover has come to an end, and I'm now starting the next chapter in my book of life, and I'm looking forward to it very much.